Hey everyone, my name is Dave Pluff and I wanted to welcome you to our class, Art History 5, which is a survey of Western art. We're going to take a look at art history in a chronological fashion, beginning right around the year 1300 and ending just after World War II as we enter the postmodern age. This is a really cool class because we get to deal with both very traditional art, such as Renaissance art, and modern art, the avant-garde. So each week I'm going to be producing one of these videos for you to walk you through the week's module. They're very important videos to show you where to and where not to spend your time. So let's head over to the Canvas site. I'll explain everything, how that's set up, and I'll walk you through module number 1. All right, here we are on the Canvas dashboard. Now our class is this one here. You'll notice the building on it is actually called the Villa Savoy. We'll talk about it when we deal with modern architecture later in the semester. When you click into the Canvas site, you'll land on the home page. And so what will happen is above the banner here, you will have the last 2 emails that I send out. Right now, when you load this on Monday, you'll have just one email up there that I sent out on Monday morning. But it'll hold the last 2 announcements. And then underneath the banner is one of the places where you can find items that are due and links to those. So this week we have a discussion board to complete as well as the syllabus quiz. Both of them are due on Sunday, March 30th. You'll click on the modules tab here at the left. And right now you just have access to 2 modules. You have the administrative materials module, which is what you want to read through first. So this contains things like the course syllabus, the lecture schedule, and the late policy. Once you're done reading those, and you can have them open during this time, you can take the syllabus quiz. So the syllabus quiz is worth 20 points. It is 10 questions. Each are worth 2 points each. And so you have the instructions here. There's no time limit on this particular quiz, but you can only take it one time. So just click on the enter button and you'll go ahead and have questions like what is my email address, and you'll click on what you think is the correct answer, click next, and press submit once you're done with the 10 questions. So that is one of the things you'll need to do during our first week together. Other information includes some links to the library, student support services, and campus resources. Underneath that, we have a little blurb on Netiquette and information about me. So let's go ahead and close the admin module. And then this is what a normal module is going to look like. So I will have the date. Modules open on Monday and they close on Sunday. But you always have access to them. As far as closing, it just means that's when the assignments are due. This week we have the roles of the artist, Italy in the 14th century, and also a documentary to watch. The modules are always set up the same. So up top, the first thing you'll have is a video. So right now, there's no video here. I'm recording it. And so that will be in this area here that you should watch. It is essential you watch the video because it'll just walk you through everything, tell you where and where not to spend time. After that, you have a module introduction. The introduction is broken down into 4 main parts. So you have a summary. This tells us what our action plan is for the week, followed by a list of lectures. So once again, we have the 2 lectures and a documentary. The objectives, such as learning the 4 roles of the artist from that first lecture, and then any assessments that are due. So we are in a condensed time frame with just an 8-week class. So there's normally 1 project that's due every week, and then there's 2 journals. The first week, I do have the 2 projects. The idea is the syllabus quiz is pretty easy and just gives you some free points, really. Then we have a discussion and then the 2 journals. So I'll show you those in just a moment. The way I have the lecture set up is in this format here. So our first lecture just has the embedded video. You'll just click on that to play it, and I think this first one is about 45 minutes. The lectures do range in length, so I will let you know in the weekly email how long they are so you can plan your time accordingly. Each module, or each lecture rather, has a study guide, and with the study guide, this is going to have terminology, and it's also going to have images from the lecture itself. So we'll zoom in a little bit here. This is a little bit different lecture. Instead of terminology, it's more of a topical lecture. So we have 4 roles of the artist, and then we have underneath that 4 images. So there is some correlation with like the gates referring to the very first role of the artist, and so on down the line. I bring this particular study guide up because at the very bottom it has some information on how to use study guides. And then there's always a further exploration section. So for here, we have a couple of short readings, like literally a couple paragraphs each on this. And then we have some videos. There can also be websites. There's just none on this particular lecture. But we have the 3 videos for you to watch and the 2 short readings. Our next lecture delves more into what we're going to be covering this semester as far as chronology goes. With Italy in the 14th century, we see the transition of art out of the Middle Ages or Gothic or Byzantine time periods into what we're going to know as the Renaissance. And so we're going to have our lecture here, followed by our study guide, and then the further exploration section has a couple of readings as well, and then also a series of videos. So none of them are particularly long, but again, in the weekly email, I'll give a time of roughly how long it should take you to move through this material. And then finally, we have a documentary. So the documentary is just about an hour long. It's part of a 4-part mini-series that was on PBS several years ago. And we're just going to be watching part 1. I've got the movie guide here, and the movie guide is actually going to be submitted as our journal entry number 2. So I'm going to cover that in just a moment. But in the meantime, I've already covered the syllabus quiz. Please make sure that's done by Sunday. All my projects, I also have a due time of 3 p.m. Keep in mind that that link is open past 3 p.m. So if you are not getting home until 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or you just turned something in late at 3:05, that is totally okay. I just want to keep you away from that 11:59 p.m. mark where all of a sudden Canvas runs slow or glitches or some other issue happens, because it's just better to turn it in earlier in the day. So that's why these are set at 3. For our journals, you will have a couple of journals every single week. And this might be anything from a reflection on the reading, a focused research on a particular topic, a worksheet, writing exercise. Many different things can comprise a journal. They are turned in twice a semester, once during the midterm week and once during the final week. So down below here, our first journal deals with patronage, and particularly with this work of art, the David by Donatello, that was patronized by the Medici family. So what you'll do is you'll click into here. There'll be a short article that pops up from a website. You'll read through that, and just a simple reflection is what I'm looking for, roughly anywhere from half a page to a full page, and you always want to double space your writings, and that's actually in the journal instructions. So then we'll go to the second journal entry, which deals with the documentary. So for the second journal entry, you're going to submit your movie guide after you've watched the film. So we'll pop open the movie guide here. It's very similar to a study guide. It's going to have all the major characters that you'll watch. For instance, Cosimo de' Medici and the Albizzi family and so on. The documentary is mostly led by narrators. So what do you put down here? You may want to put down why they're an expert in that particular field, your feelings about them. That's all. There's probably not a whole lot you're going to put down, but you may find some people like Ross King covering more of the material in the documentary because he wrote a book that dealt with the Florence Cathedral dome. Even more important are the questions down here where you want to spend a little bit of time answering them. You don't really need more than a paragraph per se, but a sentence, one single sentence is not enough. You're going to have more writing in certain questions, certain responses are going to be longer than others, so don't try to keep everything the same. And then we'll close that and go back to the module. And I think that may be everything for this week. Again, journals, they get turned in week 4 and in week 8. There will be links. So just hang on to them, make a Google Doc or save your documents on your computer until that time. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email Monday through Friday. And office hours, I'm available every Wednesday. Please tell me you're in my Chaffey 8-week class. That really helps because all the classes I teach, all the schools I teach at, are funneled into one office hour link. So with that, that is going to be it for Module 1. I'm excited that we're starting a new semester together, and I will see you shortly with the explanation of Module 2.